Hi everyone, Daniel Hall here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm progressing, percolating, and evolving. And in today's video, I have something very special for you. I'm going to walk you through and explain Pinterest, specifically how you as a marketer, as an author, as a course creator can use Pinterest to bring brand new, targeted, and free traffic to your offers, whatever they happen to be. Now, if you're interested in more extensive Pinterest training, I actually have a free resource for you. I'll leave the link to that in the description below. Also, if you want other free videos and special reports and other cool goodies, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. And of course, hit the little bell notification as well. That way, you won't miss a single video ever again. With that, let's jump in right now. So what is Pinterest? It is a marketer's dream, and here's why. You see, any post that you make on Pinterest can be seen by all Pinterest users, not by people that follow you, or not just by people that follow you. They don't have to be friends. They could be anyone. They don't even have to be logged into Pinterest to find you. That's really, really cool, especially when you stop to consider that any post that you make on Pinterest can be found even years later. That's because Pinterest is, like YouTube, archival in nature. And what I mean by that is, well, let's say that you started on YouTube back in 2009 and you put up your very first video then and you made it public. Well, that video is still searchable and findable to this very day by anyone who visits YouTube. They don't have to subscribe to you. They don't even have to be logged into their YouTube account to find your video. Well, such is also the case on Pinterest. Anything you put up on Pinterest can be found, once again, even years later. So when you understand those two things about Pinterest, plus the whole culture and backbone of Pinterest is in sharing, or what Pinterest calls repinning, you start to get a little idea of just how powerful Pinterest can be from a marketing standpoint. So what is Pinterest? Essentially, Pinterest is like an online bulletin board. So it's mostly for collecting some kind of media, visual media of some kind. So you can put up things like YouTube videos, cinemagraphs, animated GIFs, and the like, but it's mostly about static images like PNGs and JPEGs and PNG and GIF files and these sorts of files. The other thing, and I really want you to understand this, that people go and use Pinterest to discover and save new ideas. While it is true, Pinterest is a social platform, it is first and foremost, and this is a writer-downer, a search engine, okay? People go to and use Pinterest just like a search engine. The other thing I want you to understand about Pinterest is that these ideas can take any form at all, okay? And could be around or related to any niche, including your niche under the sun. So these ideas can take the form of, recipes, DIY projects, business to business types of subject matter, and everything in between, okay? Now, the other really cool thing here, and it's a really important point, is that every single post is called a pin. So a pin is a post. And every pin must include some kind of image. Now, while every pin on Pinterest must have some kind of image, it can, in addition to the image, have a description and a link back to that image's source online. Now, that's so doggone important that I, in fact, highlighted it here in red for you so that you understood that you could essentially embed a link behind any post, any pin on Pinterest, and send people just about anywhere else. So people can click on your pin's URL and they could find out more about the idea that that pin represents and potentially act on it. So what I want to do now is I want to walk you through and show you how most people pin and repin on Pinterest. So here I am on my Pinterest profile. And a couple things I just want to point out very, very quickly to you. First off, your Pinterest profile does not have to be your proper name. I want to promote my realfastresults.com podcast. So I name my Pinterest profile Real Fast Results. You could name it, like if you're a coach, you could name it, for example, Joe Smith, Millionaire Maker, or Tammy Wright, coach to professional tennis players. Whatever it is that you're into, you can name your Pinterest profile that. The second thing I want to just point out here before we show you pinning and repinning, and this goes out to all of the males of the species, the males that are watching right now, because the vast majority of active users on Pinterest are in fact females, which by the way is great news if you're a marketer, because in our society, in our culture, the females make most of the buying decisions. And if they're not making the buying decisions, they're heavily influencing those buying decisions. And it's been reported that if a active user, aka a female, hits a profile page like this and sees this creepy looking guy looking back at them, and of course creepy is completely subjective, that they will bolt, right? They'll leave your profile. They won't engage with your content, which of course you don't want. So the teaching lesson here is, if you are a male of the species, have a picture of you and a female. I don't care if it's your spouse, your lover, your best friend, your aunt, your daughter, a stranger. I don't really care, as long as you and a female, okay? And if you're a female, you're great with your own picture. That's cool. Okay, now let's talk about repinning, because most of the activity on Pinterest is in what I'm about to show you right now. I said that Pinterest is a search engine. So many people will just come up to Pinterest and use it like a search engine. I love to use it to look at fast, fancy cars. Okay, so I have a board called My Dream Cars. Okay, so this is a bulletin board on Pinterest dedicated to those cars that I own or I plan to buy. It's called My Dream Cars, and the next car I plan to buy is this one right here. It's a Porsche Macan in white. And because I use Pinterest like millions of other people, like a search engine, I like to come over here and look at the pretty, gorgeous pictures of this absolutely beautiful vehicle. Now, one thing I want to just show you here, as I mouse over each one of these images, what happens? Do you see what's happening here? It's actually prompting me. Do you see this? It's prompting me to save the image to one of my boards. In this case, it's my Dream Cars board, like I mentioned before. So let's actually save one of these images here. And let's see here. All right, let's, I don't think I've ever saved this one, and that's a pretty car. So I'm actually going to save it. Again, look what happens when I mouse over it. It says, hey, do you want to save it to your Dream Cars board? So I'm going to save that, click it. And then let's go look at this image on my Dream Cars board right now. And there it is right there. Let's go ahead and refresh it. There it is. Okay, so what happens when I click the link? Okay, so, or what happens when I actually click this image? Well, I don't actually know because I'm just doing it for the first time here, but essentially it's taking me off to, it looks like some kind of blog, okay, in German, apropos. So that's what I want you to understand here about this, is that this could have just as easily, that click, that link that was embedded under that particular image could have taken me anywhere. It could have taken me to Amazon. It could have taken me to an affiliate offer. Could have taken me to an email squeeze page. Okay. So that is repinning. And once again, that's most of the activity on Pinterest. People just coming over to Pinterest, looking for those things that they're interested in, and then pinning it to a board that's related to one of their interests, right? Okay. So what happens if I want to pin from the beginning? Okay. So I have, as I said, my my podcast website called realfastresults.com, and I put together a pin to promote my book, Real Fast Writing. Okay, it's a writing productivity pin, and this is, by the way, a quote graphic that essentially promotes my book. So what happens if I pin this to Pinterest? All I have to do is click right there, and let's find one of these boards to pin it to. And these are all the boards that I either belong to or that I own myself. So let's actually put it here on one called Bestseller Builders. Okay, let's put it on that one. We're going to save that image there, and let's actually see it now. And there we are. We're on Bestseller Builders. And let me make this a little smaller so that you can see it. So here's the really cool thing about Pinterest. What happens when I click the link or when I click the image? Well, once again, magic happens. People are taken back to one of my money sites. I make money with my realfastresults.com podcast. I am primarily an email marketer, so there's lots of ways on this particular blog to get onto my email list. Not to mention the fact that if they're interested in buying my book, what happens? Bada bing, they can click on the image again and go over to Amazon and go buy the book, right? It's super, super cool. Understand that what I just showed you there, the click, that is the same kind of click that has built empires for sites like Google and Facebook, all right? So this is really, really powerful because the clicks that you get are targeted. People are interested in whatever the subject matter of that particular pin is all about, okay? So that is the pin and repin. So let's go back here to our presentation, and let's talk about here that Pinterest is in fact the only platform that encourages users to organize boards dedicated to niches that people are actually interested in. So I've got a lot of boards that I started on Pinterest of things that I'm passionate about, right? I'm passionate about internet marketing. I'm passionate about travel. So I've got boards related to Holland and I love Israel. So I have a board related to Israel. And all kinds of boards related to writing and publishing. Okay, so that's my thing. That's what I like. But what I'm trying to tell you is that whatever your niche is, there are people that are into it on Pinterest, looking for your kind of content already. They're already there, right? So that's the other cool thing about this is that Pinterest is in fact visually stimulating and fun to browse, and why that's important is that it's very sticky. People like to hang out there. They like to do stuff there and stay there for a long periods of time looking for your content potentially. The other thing I really love about Pinterest is it makes it easy to add a clickable link anywhere you want to send people, right? Like I showed you just a second ago, people could put a link and embed a link behind their image that takes them to a podcast website or a blog or a email squeeze page or an affiliate offer or just about anywhere you want to send them in it. And Pinterest is completely cool with that in most cases, okay? Also, Pinterest actively encourages users to share pins and repins. And that's one of the reasons why I took a moment to just emphasize and show you as I moused over those pretty pictures of the Porsches, it's saying, hey, do you want to share this to, your dream cars board? Not one other social media platform will do that. Try that on Instagram, right? Won't happen. The other thing that I really love about Pinterest is it makes it easy to add those links to your offers that get shared with those images, such that when one of your image gets shared and reshared and reshared over and over again, you can in fact have clicks for years to come. Years to come. As a matter of fact, in that special training that we have for you in the description, there's a link for a long training there. We actually walk you through a case study of how we were able to generate over 168,000 clicks and counting for free, okay? Using an image on Pinterest. And that, by the way, that's not our only outlier. We've had many, many that have not done that well, but have done really, really well. And here's one of the reasons why. This image, I think, does a really good job of explaining the exponential sharing that can go on Pinterest. So let's say that you're one of our students and you produce a pin related to your niche, okay, that is good quality content, okay? And these people here, they're also into your content and they're also looking for content like yours, and because it's good quality content, guess what? They repin it. And those people that follow them repin it, and on it goes, such that every time your image, your pin gets reshared and reshared and reshared over and over again, your link goes with it, such that you can make lots of money, get lots of email subscribers, all on autopilot, okay? We've been doing this, by the way, for the last 7 years, and it works like magic. So I hope that you understand now a little bit more about how Pinterest can be used to build your business, okay, to generate fresh, free leads to your business and generally make your business much more profitable. So now, are you a Pinterest believer? I certainly hope so. And listen, if you want to take your Pinterest training to the next level, I have a free, very extensive, I think it's about 2 hours worth of training for you that you can get 100% free. I'll leave that link in the description. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that right now so that you don't miss not a single video into the future. And of course, if you've got value from today's video, please go ahead and Hulk smash that like button. It really, really helps support the channel when you do that. Last, I just will say that I try to be a blessing in your life, and I know that when you go out and be a blessing in the people's lives of those that you serve, that you become happier and a much better servant of those people. So go out and be the blessing.